What's happening, everyone? My name's Anthony Santana, and welcome back to Max's Big Bust, a Captain Nekorai tale. This is episode 22, and in the previous episode, we have discovered that Trixie, the mansion maid, the Castro mansion maid, has a twin nobody knew about. Max somehow solved it. I kinda had an idea of it, but Max takes all the credit. So anyways, now we're outside. Hey, do you reckon there's something going on between Victoria and Evelyn the Castro? I wasn't gonna say anything about it, but I saw the two of them out together the other week. I actually thought they were screwing each other, which is why I was so surprised when Victoria started dating Max. Oh. But Ember already knew about that. Oh? So she is having an affair? That's gotta suck for Max. I don't know. While I'm not super close with Victoria, I have known her for a long time, and she doesn't strike me as the sort of person that'd sleep around. I will admit, it's weird though. Well, Ember, sorry to disappoint. Well, Victoria has started studying the occult, right? Maybe Evelyn runs one of those Wiccan witch covens, and Victoria is spending time with her to hone her own skills in the mystic arts. You don't actually believe in magic, do you? Ember, you can spontaneously generate fire from your hands. Point taken. That's not magic though, is it? Isn't it like a superpower? How is that any different to magic? You're still making fire out of thin air. Well, I suppose if there's fire magic, then witches aren't really that big of a stretch. I'm going with the evil witch theory. It makes more sense than Victoria cheating on Max. Well, I guess there's a reason why Victoria decided to summon a witch hat when she showed Max some magic. Surely it's more likely that Captain Nekorai ordered Victoria to run surveillance on Evelyn the Castro. Considering she's one of our biggest suspects in the minx trade, she's probably just doing it for work. Witches are more fun. It still doesn't mean they're real, Holly. Okay, thank you. I understand. I'll give you a call if I need to speak with you again. I appreciate it. Bye. Feeling better now? Now that I know my legal rights, yes, I'm prepared to cooperate with you. I think we're going to lose our jobs anyway, sis. We might as well tell them everything we know. I don't want to lose my job though. I really like being a maid. Start tacking. If you hadn't noticed, the two of us are completely identical. Even most identical twins have some minor difference to tell them apart, like a freckle or a birthmark. But Trixie and I are pretty much clones of each other. Our own parents can't even tell us apart. Our parents did some weird stuff in the 80s. It wouldn't surprise me if we were part of some weird government experiment. We've been over this before, Trixie. We're just regular twins who just so happen to look and sound completely identical to each other. It's not that uncommon. If you say so. Anyway, a high-paying maid job opened up at the manor here a few years ago, so the two of us came up with a plan. We'd split the money and alternate shifts, which still pays more than working at a butcher. Butcher? Well. And then work alternate shifts and cover each other. That way we don't have to work all week, and up until now no one has noticed. I thought we were going to get away with this forever. Oh, I knew all along. Well. When you applied for the job, I looked you up online. There were twin pictures everywhere. It didn't take me long to put two and two together. Oh. Also, when I rang your previous employer at the butcher, they said you'd tried the exact same stunt and told me to be on the lookout for you. It didn't dissuade me though. It was actually the reason I hired you two. Really? So, you knew we were ripping you off the whole time? Ripping me off? With you two covering each other's shifts, I haven't had to worry about hiring another maid to cover your sick leave. You've saved me a fortune. Wow. So you're not going to fire us? Nope. We're going to pretend this entire thing never happened, and I'm going to continue to exploit your situation as much as possible. As far as I'm concerned, there's still only one of you. Understood? I guess that's better than being fired? Yay? I'm going to start calling you Millie now, though. It's a cuter name. Hey! Now if you'll excuse me, Millie, I have work to attend to. I'll call you if I need anything. Yes, Miss LaCastro. That woman has quite a presence, doesn't she? She interrupted me mid-conversation and all I could do was just stand there. That's Miss LaCastro for you. She scares me. So, if only one of you works at a time, why are both of you here tonight? And why have I only ever seen one of you up until this moment? I got the roster wrong. I told you I was going to work tonight. You should have called me beforehand. I said I was sorry. Okay, but that still doesn't answer my question. We've got the whole place on lockdown, and yet no one noticed there were the two of you walking around. Was one of you hiding somewhere this whole time? And if so, where? Do we show her? Of course we show her. I don't want to go to jail. We need to cooperate. What are you showing me? We discovered this by complete accident. One day I was cleaning this bookshelf and I accidentally bumped this book and... A secret lair. Oh, even worse. Why is it dark? And why is the floor moving? Turns out Reginald LaCastro was a bit of an eccentric billionaire. He built secret passageways all over the mansion. There's at least one in every room of the house. Ta-da! Now we're upstairs. In the sexy man cave room. Man cave? What? Man dream. Holy shit. If you rotate that globe to the right there, a little passageway opens up behind it. Maybe somebody used those passageways to commit the murder, which everybody seems to have forgotten about. Follow me. And now we're in the kitchens. A dead body! Oh, I guess Millie hasn't seen it yet. That was the same scream I made. We should get out of here. Yeah, probably not the best idea. Good idea. His face is so bloody. Just look away, Millie. Just look away. So, this mansion has dozens of secret passageways? How many have we found so far? 7? That's just inside the house. We found one out near the driveway the other day that goes to a secret garage. I think there's still more of them. We just haven't found them all yet. Well, it's confirmed. LaCastro Manor is definitely hiding something. Reginald LaCastro is dead now, though. So unless Evelyn knows about them, then I guess they're a secret now. We just got lucky in finding the first one. And then we knew what to look for. So, as far as you're aware, you two are the only ones using these secret passageways? Yep. Actually, I think someone else was using the secret passage system this evening. Uh-oh. What? Someone else knows about our secret? What makes you think that? I was upstairs when I heard Trixie scream, so I took the secret passageway through the kitchen to check if she was okay. And in the passageway that links the grand hall to the kitchen, I found this on the floor. Is that a pocket watch? Uh-oh. We got a clue. Yeah, and it doesn't belong to either of us. Someone else was in the secret passageway system tonight. I thought we were the only ones who knew. It's freaky, right? There's no lights in there. How scary would it be if we bumped into someone in there? Hell, the murderer could still be in there waiting for us. Stop screaming and give me that pocket watch. Here you go. Damn it. You picked this up when you found it, didn't you, Millie? Yeah, and I just put it in the front pocket of my dress. Your dress is made of silk. When it's bounced around in your pocket, it's wiped it down clean. I can't get any fingerprints off this. Oh. Millie. Well, how was I supposed to know that? I thought it might be yours. Why would I carry a pocket watch? I can just look at my phone. Well, this complicates things. Do you need anything else from us? I've just got one question for you. Oh? Have the two of you at any point in time ever been involved in production, distribution, or commercial sale of the illegal narcotic binks? Max, I don't think now's the time for that. Binks? That's that snorty stuff all those druggos down at the boardwalk take, isn't it? We're not drug lords, we're maids. We clean rooms for a living. Maybe some of the guests take minks, but I've never tried it, and I've certainly never sold it. I haven't even tried marijuana. Good girl. You do get drunk a lot, though. Oh, like you're any different. So, neither of you are involved in the illegal drug trade? No, of course not. Like I said, we're just maids. We're not murderers or drug traffickers. We're just running a work scam. Yeah, thanks for your cooperation, girls. I appreciate it. If I need anything else, I'll let you know. What? Seriously? Well, that's horrifying. Is something going on? Tell me what Captain Nekorai is saying. In a minute, Holly. I'm talking. But I want to know now. No, we haven't seen anything suspicious. We've got our guns on us, though. Want us to move in and secure the area? But Nekorai? Alright, understood. We'll stay in the area. Let us know if you need anything. What did he say? Apparently there's been a murder inside the mansion. Not the cute maids! It wasn't one of the maids. It was an elderly butler. Someone stabbed him with a samurai sword in the kitchen. Oh, that's fine then. Oh, way to just brush that off, Holly. Well, I mean, I know it's not fine, but at least it wasn't a cute little maid girl that died. You get what I'm saying? I offered to move in, but apparently Pandrai just so happened to be staying at Lacastra Manor this evening, so he's taken over the investigation. Convenient timing, huh? Almost a little too convenient, if you ask me. It certainly seems a bit fishy. Don't say the fishy word, Ember. You're making me all hungry. I thought you hated seafood. We went out once years ago and you outright refused to try calamari rings, even though they taste amazing. I still don't understand that. Yeah, but I'm a cat girl now. I like different foods. I actually tried calamari rings the other night. They're really good, although they're pretty much a deep-fried batter delivery device. It's like 90% batter and 10% octopus. Have you tried eating cat kibble yet? What? No! I bet you've at least thought about it, though. I saw some in the store the other day and it smelled really good. But I'm not gonna eat it. I'm a cat girl, not a cat. Oh, can I keep Holly as a pet? It is really cheap, though. I give it a week until you're eating cat kibble. If I was a cat girl, I'd give it a go. Oh, you should become a cat girl. You'd look so great with cat ears. I can't, remember? I've got that magically resetting body. I'd spend a couple grand on a kimono procedure, and then 20 minutes later, I'd be back to my regular self. Oh yeah, that sucks. Wait, what were we talking about before? Oh, there was a murder in the mansion. We get off topic too easily. Yep. I wonder if I'd like spicy foods now. You know, because of the flame powers. If anything, that would probably trigger her flame powers. I guess that makes sense. Those two girls could be lying about their involvement with Meek's production, but Natara definitely says she saw a woman wearing a hazardous chemicals suit when she picked up her drugs here. If it's not the maids, then I suppose it has to be Evelyn? Natara said the silhouette didn't match Evelyn's physique, though. Her super long neck is pretty distinctive. I can figure that mystery out later. Right now I need to focus on finding who murdered the butler, and why. If there are secret passages all over this place, then that means the murderer could move between any two rooms in the house in less than a minute, and they wouldn't have to worry about anyone seeing them. You could flee the scene in an instant. If all it takes is a 60-second window to kill the butler, then I can't take anyone's alibis for granted anymore. I'm going to need to focus my investigation on something else. This was clearly a planned murder, which means the murderer had to have some personal history with the butler. I need to start questioning people about their knowledge of the butler, and look up for any holes in their story. That evil twin thing threw me for a loop, and I still think Alfred was behind this whole thing, but at least I'm getting somewhere. And as interesting as this pocket watch is, without fingerprints, it's not exactly useful as evidence. Looks like I'm back to questioning people again. Now where should I start? Oh, well, investigation round 2. Let's see, what do we have? Okay, so we have a clean sheet on everyone, except myself. Incredibly attractive blonde, I'm really, really hungry. Hungry people are crazy. No arguing there. Same people still here? Yeah, pretty much. Girls, you got a second? Yeah? What do you need? I've got a feeling the two of you aren't telling me the full truth. We totally are, though. Yeah, we haven't lied at all. I've got reports from an unnamed source that the two of you often accept bribes while you're working here. I can't reveal my source, but they mentioned the maids at Le Castro Manor were involved in shady activities. Bribes? Oh, she must be talking about Mr. Rockvale's escort service. Really? Oh, that's right. Escort service? The butler that was murdered, he used to work part-time as a male escort. Oh, I thought he hired escorts. Okay, well, I guess it's okay if he's the one? People would often come up here to see him in the middle of the night, and he asked us to accept payment from them before letting them into the mansion. At least we think it was an escort service. He was really angry about it and threatened to fire us if we told anyone. We kept seeing a guy who appeared to be perpetually dancing in a flamboyant fashion, Millie. That freaking flamboyant dancing guy. It's the only explanation that makes sense. I think I know who that might be. There were all sorts of guys coming over, and sometimes it'd be every second night. I don't know why Mr. Rockvale was so popular with these men, but I'm not exactly familiar with the world of male prostitution. I mean, he was kinda old, but he wasn't really that ugly, I guess. Maybe flamboyant blokes are into that. I completely failed to see the appeal, but whatever. So long as they were happy, I don't care. So, what did the two of you do exactly? These guys would show up at the back door every night, and Mr. Rockvale would have us collect a fee from his suitors and allow them to enter the mansion. Then we'd turn a blind eye and let them go about their business. We thought about telling Evelyn, but we think she knows anyway. He tried to be subtle about it, but sometimes they were really loud. I think she knew something was up. Maybe she was his pimp. He is pretty intimidating. Yeah, maybe. Something tells me the two of you are horribly confused about this. Yeah, Evelyn's not into guys. Anyway, do the two of you have any problems or personal history with Mr. Rockvale? No, not really. Sometimes he'd get cross at us if we forgot to do something, but overall he was a pretty good boss. I still don't know why anyone would murder him. Maybe it was a jilted ex-lover who grew too attached to him. Out of everyone, who could that be? Ooh, maybe they wanted him to give up his life of prostitution and run away with them, but he said no and they reacted violently. That makes sense. No, it doesn't. I'll leave you girls to it. I'll be back later if I need anything. Okay, so that was pretty useless. Oh, there's still more conversation. Those girls seem pretty convinced that the butler was running a male prostitution ring, even though it doesn't make any sense at all. We know for a fact that the butler was involved with producing minks at the manor, so maybe those two maids were just completely oblivious to what was actually going on. They could have just come up with that story about male prostitutions on the spot to cover their arses, though. That's just as likely. They can't have been that naive. We know a woman was involved with minks production, but I think I'm looking at this from the wrong angle. I need to find the murderer and tie it back to minks, not the other way around. I'll just keep going in circles otherwise. Okay, on to the next person. Becky? Don't murder me! Sorry, I'm getting a little jumpy. Apparently there's evil twins now? I don't like where this is going. Just because there's evil twins doesn't mean you're in a... I don't want to die next. I want to go home. If you keep screaming and drawing attention to yourself like this, the murderer is more likely to kill you. Oh man. Just stay calm. Everything is fine. We've got the whole place on lockdown. If the whole place is on lockdown, then where was that second maid hiding? The mansion isn't on lockdown at all. I'm next, aren't I? I'm gonna die! If I have to shoot you with my stun gun, I'll be good. Good. Now we need to ask you a few questions again, alright? Alright. Did you work with the butler often? Well, yeah, Mr. Rockville was my boss. I didn't work with him all the time. I sometimes work weekends on one of the Lacastra trains, but I've never worked a shift at the mansion where he wasn't here. And did the two of you get along? I suppose so. He was a bit of a jerk, and I know he got cross at Alfred a lot. Oh. But I never really had any issues with him. Once he wouldn't let me take my bathroom break, even though I really needed a pee, but I didn't want to murder him over it. Well, maybe I did at the time, but not seriously. I wouldn't actually kill anyone. And you only knew him through work? You don't ever spend time with him outside the mansion? I don't think so. He rarely ever left the mansion, and I really didn't have that much to do with him. He mostly kept to himself. Then why was he and Trixie, or her twin, at the anime convention? Was that just possibly their day off? Was he being their escort? No, wrong escort. Now that I think about it, I don't even know his name. Interesting. That should do for now, Becky. If I need anything else, I know where to find you. Don't leave me. I need full-time police protection. Oh man, I don't like this. Okay, we got a little bit of info, mostly regarding Alfred. Hey Zara, you got a sec? Did you hear about the evil twins? There's 2 maids now. I know, right? It's ridiculous. They look eerily similar to each other. I think they might be clones. Maybe. Oh, or maybe they're robots. Some mad scientist created them in order to have her own army of robotic maid slaves. I would love to be that scientist. Oh wait, no, that sounds bad. Okay, now you're just being ridiculous. You haven't seen the things I've seen. I still can't look at Jelly without having a panic attack. Okay. So Zara, how well did you know the deceased? Had you met him prior to this evening? The butler guy? No, I don't know anything about him. He struck me as a bit of a jerk when I got here. He was so busy having an argument with Hector von House. Then he completely ignored me and the other guests. I had to carry my own bags inside and everything. It was pretty ridiculous. Okay, so always gets cross with Alfred, having an argument with Hector earlier in the day. Oh? Do you know what the argument was about? I think Hector stepped on the butler's shoe. It struck me as pretty trivial. Interesting. But you said there were other people there. Yeah, that stoner guy, Dale High, was there. He showed up just after me. He kept following me around too. I think he was trying to ask me out. My bunny ears have that effect on people. Alright, so just to get things straight, when you arrived at the mansion this evening, Hector von House was already there, and he was having an argument with the butler. Yep, right after that, Dale High pulled up and watched them argue for a bit, but once I realized it was pointless, I went inside. And Dale High followed you? Once I retracted my bunny ears, he stopped chasing after me. But yeah, he followed me inside. Alright, this is actually very useful information here. Thanks for your help, Zara. Don't mention it, Max. Okay, think that's everybody here. Sure is. Okay. Becky, Worked for the butler, doesn't know much about him. Zara saw the butler arguing with Hector. Dale was present. Trixie and Millie, horribly confused, didn't know Butler well. And that's it. Okay, so then that's everyone. Whoops, nope, didn't want that. Move location. Let's go to the dining hall. Why not? Same people still here? Yep. Dale, hi. Yeah? That was a very feminine yeah. I need to ask you some questions about the butler. Do you mean Alfred or Gordon? Okay, so Dale knew the butler by first name. Gordon? Yeah, Gordon. That was the name of the bloke that was murdered, right? You knew him personally? No. Oh, how do you know his first name? He said it when I showed up. Zara did not mention anything about that. Interesting. So you never met the butler prior to this evening? Today was the first time I met him, I think. And do you know anything else about him? I don't think so. Thanks for the information, Dale. Did I say something wrong? Yeah, I think that's more than enough to go off of. And you know what? I'm gonna save the notes for after. Hey, Ethan, you got a sec? What do you need, babe? You don't happen to know anything about the butler that was murdered, do you? You didn't secretly spy on him for a client or anything like that? Nope. My first time meeting him was tonight. He's completely new to me. Damn it, I was hoping to turn up juicy details on his past. You shouldn't be focusing You shouldn't be focusing your investigation on the butler. Focus on the people here at the mansion tonight. I've dealt with cases like this before, and people always slip up. Look for inconsistencies in their stories. And that's what I did before. It's how I found out about Trixie's evil twin. Just because they're twins doesn't mean one of them is evil, Max. And that's what they want you to think. Hang in there, babe. You'll figure this out. Thanks, Ethan. Okay, no info from him. Hey, Hector, mind if I ask you a few more questions? I extended the courtesy of formality by calling you Mr. Newling, and I expect you to do the same. That's Mr. Von House to you. Wouldn't I be a Mrs. Newling now? What, because of the tits and all? Whatever, have you got a moment? If I must. How well did you know the butler? You mean the old butler that was murdered, or the young butler who's continuously distracted all the time? The murdered one. I don't really think it's appropriate to speak ill of the dead, but from what I saw, his work, I wasn't exactly impressed. Not only did he fail to introduce himself when I arrived, but he also refused to carry my bags inside. If you work in customer service, then it's your duty to ensure the customer is taken care of, and this butler exhibited exactly zero of the abilities you'd expect from such a position. I was absolutely outraged with his behavior, and I let him know about it. I ended up causing quite a stir and drew quite a crowd. But I had a point to prove, and I wasn't going to let such abominable customer service slide. So you had a fight with the butler when you arrived, and other guests witnessed this? I wouldn't call it a fight, but we did have a mild verbal altercation. And yes, several other guests decided to stick their nose where it didn't belong and interject. But I didn't let that stop me. I made my outrage known, as that is the way Victor von House way. I butcher that frickin' sentence, as that is the Hector von House way. Which guests were present during your argument? I don't pay attention to commoners. I couldn't tell you who was there and who was nearby. All I was focused on was that sniveling piece of trash butler.
So you never met with the butler prior to this evening, and you don't know anything about him?
How on earth could I have known a person who doesn't even properly introduce themselves? I don't even know his name, and now that he's dead, I don't suppose I ever will. Now that it really matters, not that it really matters anyway, they've already got a young butler to replace him. Hopefully he takes more pride in his work. Now is that all you need to ask me?
That's all I need for now. Thanks, Hector.
That's Mr. Von House to you.
For someone who doesn't like to speak ill of the dead, he was awfully rude about the butler. Clearly those two didn't get along.
Clearly.
This altercation when they arrived sounds interesting. I need to look into it more.
Well, I've already talked to the only two people who were present that we know of. Okay, so let's see, nobody on the first page. Dale. Knows the butler's first name, story seems suspicious. Now she's awfully suspicious about Dale. Ethan didn't know the butler, too cool to be a murderer. Hector doesn't like the butler, never met him before today. Okay. Off to the kitchen. That butler's starting to smell a bit, oh geez.
This would be much easier if I could talk to ghosts. I could just go ask the butler who killed him.
Well.
Hey Victoria, do you know anything about the murder victim?
I know he had an unhealthy liver. Does that count?
Oh? So he had a drinking problem?
No, I mean someone sliced up his liver with a samurai sword. Oh, Victoria, now's not the time for those jokes.
Ah. You've been over here before though, haven't you? Did the butler say or do anything odd when you were last here?
Last time I came here was the middle of the night, and Evelyn didn't exactly go around waking up her staff so she could introduce me to them. I had never even seen this bloke until this evening.
So you don't know anything personal about him?
Not outside of my autopsy results, no. You're probably better off asking someone else.
I might just do that. Thanks, Victoria.
Alright, Pandrai. You're next. I hope you do have a second.
Hey, Commissioner. Have you got a sec?
Nope.
I just need to ask you a few questions.
No, piss off. I said piss off. Well, at least that was quick.
I don't think Pandrai wants to talk to me right now. Maybe I should leave.
Oh, we'll do just that after reviewing the notes. Won't talk to me, stupid footy. And Victoria hasn't met the butler before, she has no reason to kill him. Alright, well, final location, unless we have to talk to everyone again, like I had to do last time and was not aware of it.
The rain is so loud out here, can't hear myself think. Hey Alfred, do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Didn't you already do that like 5 minutes ago?
That was before the evil twin revelation. I have to follow up some more things.
No. Now that there's two Trixies, that means my chances of going on a date with one of them has doubled. I'll finally have a cute maid girlfriend who can look adorable and clean my house at the same time. It'll be amazing.
Don't get your hopes up yet, murder boy.
Hiccup, jeez.
You can't have a maid clean your room when you're in prison for manslaughter.
Max. Just because I'm a butler doesn't mean I'm the murderer. I'm innocent, I swear.
Then prove it. What's your relationship with the deceased?
Mr. Rockvale? He's my boss?
Was he a good boss?
Not really. He always got cross at me when I was late to work or took an extended break. And he never let me go home early. He used to get really cranky about it sometimes too.
I'm not sure if that qualifies him as a bad boss.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a bad worker.
Did the two of you fight often?
No, not really. He mostly took all of his frustration out on the guests. Should have seen him this afternoon. He went mental at that old real estate guy just because he accidentally stepped on his foot. He's supposed to be in charge here.
Well, there was an altercation between the butler and one of the guests.
Yeah, but that used to happen all the time. I know I shouldn't talk badly about dead people, but he was a bit of a dick. But that doesn't mean I killed him.
Interesting. Thanks for the information, Alfred von Murder Pants.
I haven't killed anyone.
That's exactly what a murderer would say.
Jeez, Max, you're just picking on him. Okay, Brad, do you have anything useful to say?
Hey, Brad, have you got a moment?
Sure, buddy. What do you need?
By any chance, do you know anything about the deceased?
Snooty butler guy? Nope. He struck me as a pretty rude bloke when we showed up. He didn't introduce himself or anything. The only reason I even know his name is Gordon Rockville is because Victoria found an ID card in his wallet. I don't think he was particularly good at his job. Customer service is a key in a job like that.
Did Victoria tell anyone else about the ID card?
Oh no, we've kept all of the details about his death under wraps. The less information these people have, the harder it is for them to come up with a convincing alibi. Ha ha ha, that's making Dale look awfully suspicious.
Thanks for the information, Brad. If you hear anything suspicious or figure something out, just let me know.
I'll be right here if you need me, buddy. That's already really good info. Oh no, don't move. Talk. Last person on the list.
If you don't mind, Evelyn, I need to ask you a few more questions.
Of course. Go right ahead.
How would you describe your relationship with the deceased? Were the two of you very close?
Gordon Rockville has served this family since before I was born. I can't exactly say I ever saw him as a father figure or anything, but the two of us have known each other for a very long time. I'm devastated about his death.
You don't seem that devastated.
What, just because I know how to control my emotions in public means I can't be upset about the death of a close friend I've known for the entirety of my life? No offense to you or your investigation, but you seriously need to watch what you're asking people. That wasn't even remotely appropriate. I know you're thinking of this evening as an excuse to run around asking questions in a fancy manner while you play detective, but an actual person that people cared for died tonight. I do hope you'll remember that.
Sorry. Did the two of you ever have any arguments or anything like that? Or can you think of anything he might have done to upset someone?
No, not that I can think of. The two of us have always had a friendly relationship, and as far as I'm aware, Gordon didn't have any enemies. He spent most of his time here at the mansion, and occasionally he'd run errands for me in town, so it's not like he knew that many people. Honestly, I've got no idea who could have done such a thing to him. He was a great person. He didn't deserve to die in such a horrific fashion.
Alright. Thanks for the information, Evelyn. If I need anything else, I'll let you know.
Take care. Alright, the last of our notes. Okay, nobody here on the first page we talked to. Dale, no, not Dale. Evelyn. Knew Gordon Rockville well, the two of them got along. Brad. Butler's name is Gordon Rockville. Victoria found ID. Okay, then I did miss somebody. First page, Alfred. Needs no motive. Guilty. He used to argue with the butler. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to push... Where is he at? Push Dale. Oh, okay. It'll push automatically. Wait. I didn't move. Yeah, I did not move. It's moving on its own. Okay, I'm gonna push Alfred real quick.
I don't think you're telling me the whole truth, Dale.
Oh, Dale, not Alfred. Whoops. You don't?
Oh no, you're definitely hiding something from me.
But you know I can't be the murderer. I was right there with you when he died. You saw me and everything.
I never said you were the murderer, Dale. I said you were lying to me.
I haven't lied.
Earlier you said that you heard the butler's name was Gordon, correct?
Yeah?
And how did you know his first name was Gordon?
He said it when he introduced himself. Just because I know his name doesn't mean I'm a liar.
Here's the thing, Dale. I've spoken to a lot of people tonight, and every single one of them told me the same thing.
Yeah? And what's that?
Gordon Rockvale wasn't a friendly bloke, and he was especially irritable tonight. And did you know what everyone's main complaint was? He was incredibly rude to every single person that arrived. He didn't even introduce himself or carry your bags upstairs. He just stood there looking angry. So tell me, Dale, if the butler didn't introduce himself to you, then how do you know his first name?
How do you know that, huh? You weren't there when I got here. He absolutely introduced himself to me. That's how I know his name. You can't prove anything.
Actually, I can. You arrived at the mansion just after Hector Von House showed up, didn't you?
Yeah, so?
The butler was a bit preoccupied at the time, wasn't he? I've got accounts from multiple witnesses saying he was having an argument with Hector at that time. He wasn't introducing himself to you.
I guess I must have heard him say his name during the argument. That's why I know it.
So you're changing your story already?
They were fighting for ages. He must have said it then. I just got confused and thought he said it later. That's all.
You didn't hear the butler say his name during the argument, Dale.
I didn't?
Nope. When you rocked up, there was someone else already there. Someone who you were instantly infatuated with. And her name is Zara Forelli. You didn't hear the butler say his name at all. You were completely distracted by Zara the whole time. You showed up instantly started hitting on Zara, and when she lost interest, she went inside, and you followed her. One little flick of that little bunny tail, and you were hooked. You just couldn't get enough of Zara and those fluffy little ears of hers. She never heard of the butler say his name, so how did you hear it? She was there before you, and you both left at the same time. Damn it, Dale, you're lying to me. You knew the butler before all this, didn't you? There's nowhere you can hide now, Dale. Just give it up.
Fine, I admit it. I knew the butler's name before all this.
Start talking.
I can't. I'll lose my job.
Do you want me to arrest you?
No.
Then talk.
I work in a big central office in Accent City Heights, and my cubicle is right near Hector Von House's office. A couple of days ago, I heard him yelling on the phone to someone, and he got really angry. I was kind of bored that day, so I put some headphones on without plugging them into anything, and listened to his conversation. It was hard to make out, but at one point I definitely heard him say, "Listen here, Gordon. This is my operation, and we're going to do things my way. Understood?" Oh, that is some very valuable information, Dale.
Oh, really now?
When I got here, he addressed the butler as Gordon, so I put 2 and 2 together. They have to be the same guy, right?
If you knew that Hector Von House had a history with the butler, then why didn't you say something earlier?
Well, I couldn't exactly say anything.
Then why the hell not?
Hector,
Spit it out!
I was snorting minks in my cubicle after work one night, and I thought I was the only one there. But Hector walked in and caught me in the act. He's been blackmailing me ever since. Dun dun dun!
But you just decided to keep that to yourself.
It's not my fault. If I lose my job, I won't have any money, and I need money to buy drugs. I mean, food. I need money to buy food.
Do I look like I care?
Ever since Hector saw me whiffing minks outside, he's made my life a living hell. I have to do everything he tells me to, like pick up his laundry or wash his car. He even made me polish his pocket watch collection once. Bingo! I mean, seriously, who the hell uses a pocket watch nowadays? They're so stupid.
Hold up, did you just say pocket watch?
Yeah?
Did any of the watches in Mr. Von House's collection happen to look like this one?
Oh, that's his personal watch. He always has it with him. It's got his initials engraved in the back and everything.
So that's what HVH stands for. I thought it was a maker's name, or maker's mark. Excuse me, Dale, I have something to take care of.
Am I free to go now? Hello? You should at least ask for witness protection. Even though, it's gonna be a bit difficult with the whole mansion being on lockdown.
Mr. Von House?
Yes, Mr. Newling.
You wouldn't happen to know what time it is, would you?
Why, it's... how odd. I appear to have misplaced my pocket watch.
Damn right you did. Look what I've got.
My watch? Where did you find that?
In a secret passageway, right near the scene of tonight's murder. Mr. Von House, you're being arrested under suspicion for the murder of Gordon Rockvale. We have evidence linking you to the crime, and a witness testimony of you expressing your outrage at the deceased.
I wish to speak to my lawyer, now.
There'll be plenty of time for that later. Now come with me. Commissioner Panderai, I figured out who the murderer was.
Yeah, so did I. It wasn't exactly difficult. I solved the case during a commercial break.
What? Really?
Bet your arse I did. I've been running an investigation of my own, and it only took me 2 days to figure out Minx was being produced beneath the Castro mansion. So he was in it the whole time. I confronted Evelyn LeCastro early on, and it was immediately obvious that her butler Gordon Rockvale was running the whole thing without her knowledge. She agreed to work with the police in identifying and shutting down all the mink supply lines that her butler had set up throughout the city. Now is that a cover? However, Butler was just running a drug lab. Gordon Rockvale had prior convictions for the production of ice a couple years back, but that was just for personal use. He had no knowledge of the criminal trade or how to traffic drugs effectively. It was obvious someone else was the mastermind behind this whole thing. Butler was just some lackey. And that's where Hector Von House comes in. For the past 6 months, Hector Von House has been orchestrating the minx trade in Accent City in an attempt to increase drug activity and the crime rate, which in turn has had a negative impact on the housing market. These minx addicts are a rowdy bunch, and their criminal antics scare off regular homeowners and force them to leave the city, which causes housing prices to drop. And less people living in Accent means less people working in Accent. So the commercial market has plummeted, particularly in areas surrounding the CBD. Fuck this accent. As a result of this, I need to give him a voice though. As a result of this, Hector has... Yeah, that seems good. As a result of this, Hector has been able to buy up large areas of land throughout the city for a measly sum, with the ultimate goal of shutting down minx production and enable house prices to soar back to their regular value, letting him walk away with a massive profit. He knew that we were close to shutting it down his operation. Earlaw had just arrested one of their major drug suppliers, and it was only a matter of time until the game was up. But Hector had prepared for this. They called a last-minute meeting here at the mansion under the pretense of land development. Hector planned on throwing his right-hand man Gordon Rockvale under the bus and pin all the blame for producing minx on him and him alone. The thing is, Hector underestimated his business partner, and the butler figured the whole thing out. The butler confronted Hector in the kitchen and threatened to expose their entire operation to the police, which was something Hector hadn't prepared for. He was desperate, and he couldn't risk being exposed. Hector was desperate, so he grabbed a decorative sword that was on display in his bedroom and waited until he had an opportunity to speak to the butler alone. While I was out having a piss in the dunny in the hallway, Hector cornered Gordon Rockvale in the kitchen where he was preparing dinner and murdered him in cold blood.
You knew this whole time?
It was pretty bloody obvious. I still don't understand why it took you so long to figure this out. It was a pretty open and shut case.
But I had to question so many people. It took ages.
What's the point of that? The murder weapon didn't just appear out of thin fucking air. It was a one-of-a-kind samurai sword, for fuck's sakes. And what so happens to be missing from the display case in Hector's room? Wouldn't be a samurai sword now, would it?
Wait, his bedroom? Why didn't I look upstairs? I didn't realize that was an option. Hey.
Wait, did she just break the fourth wall?
Hey, hold up. If you knew that Hector was the murderer so quickly, then why didn't you arrest him?
What, I missed the footy? How many times do I have to fucking say it? This was the biggest game of the bloody year. as soon as those cuffs go on, I've got to fill out a ton of paperwork, which means I have to drop what I'm doing and spend all night fucking around filing out forms and shit. His arrest can wait. I called Dave and the boys back at North Axon as soon as I figured it out. They've got a 4-wheel drive with a snorkel that can make it across the flooded creek easy, but they were waiting for the footy to finish too. We've got the whole place on lockdown. It's not like he's gonna murder anyone else.
But...
Alright, girlie. Considering you've made the arrest on Hector Von House, then I guess that means it's your job to fill out the paperwork. Ah, fuck. Here's a pen and the accompanying forms. Now get to it. And he just conveniently holds them around at all times?
There's so many forms.
Yep, I'm glad it's not my job.
Yay.
Alright, thanks, Captain Nekorai. We'll head back now.
Oh? Did they catch the murderer already?
Yeah, and under interrogation he admitted to running a minx distribution ring from inside the mansion. Our work here is done. We're right to head home.
Woohoo! I was worried I wasn't going to be able to sleep in my own bed tonight. Being stuck out here all night in this cramped little car would be absolutely unbearable.
I know, right? Let's get out of here. Wait, isn't the place gonna be, pretty much submerged?
Huh. Where are we going?
The engine isn't switching on for some reason. What are you doing over there?
Nothing.
You're unplugging your phone from the cigarette lighter? You were secretly charging it this whole time.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to watch silly internet videos.
God damn it, Holly. We've got a flat battery because of you, Holly. We can't go anywhere now.
Can you call roadside assistance?
Yeah, and they might come 8 hours from now. It's the middle of the night, Holly. No one's gonna drive out here and jumpstart a car for us.
So we're stuck here?
Yep, and it's entirely your fault. What did I say, Holly? Don't waste the battery. We need to get home after this. My car is a piece of shit. Don't touch the cigarette lighter port. It'll just drain the battery. I said it like 100 times. But did you listen? No. And now we're stranded in the field during a massive rainstorm for the rest of the night. Great work, Holly.
Sorry, Amber.
I'm not talking to you anymore. Dun dun dun!
So, we're safe now? Yep. Hector's been escorted from the premises and the forensic team has cleaned up the kitchen. Everything is back to normal now.
I actually thought I was going to die for a moment there. I believe I'm owed an apology. Actually, yes, you are.
Ahem. Sorry for accusing you of running a citywide drug smuggling ring. And I'm sorry for calling you evil.
Thank you. I knew that Hector Von House was a sniveling weasel, but a murderer? I guess I shouldn't have put it past him. I'd suspected him of running the minx trade ever since he made moves to acquire my company. I guess I'm going to have to hire a new butler now. That's going to be so much fun. I have business to take care of. I thank you for your efforts this evening, but we both know that it was Pandorai who did all the work tonight.
I helped.
Sure you did.
I still think she might be evil. There's something I don't trust about her. Maybe it's just her long neck that's freaking me out. Oh wow, it's super late. I should go to bed.
Oh, wait, sexy man dream room.
Shit, I'm staying in the sexy man room tonight. Hey, calm, Max. It's just a coincidence. You're not going to have a threesome.
Can't you just ask for Hector's old room or even the butler's room? Although that might be a bit creepy.
They were all just really vivid dreams, that's all. Not a prophetic vision or anything. It's fine. This would be so much easier if the road wasn't flooded. I'd just head home right now otherwise. Let's get this over with.
I'm so cold. And whose fault would that be, Holly?
Mine, I know.
I told you not to waste a bloody battery. Don't know how many different ways I could have said it. We don't have any blankets or anything, do we? Nope. Can I snuggle with you? Aww. Huh? Well, your body radiates warmth, right? Because of your fire powers? Yeah, so? I'm freezing to death over here, Ember. I don't want to die. I should have thought of that before you selfishly sucked up all the charge from the car. You were warned. So you're just gonna let me shiver all night over here? Yep. Well, I don't care. Move over. I'm snuggling in. Hey, Holly, stop. I said quit it. So warm. Are you making purring noises? This is so much nicer. It's like curling up in front of a fire. Fine, I guess you can stay there. Thanks, Ember. Hey, what's this soft thing? Her tit? That would be my boobs. I'm gonna use them as a pillow. Hey, I never said you could do that. They're so squishy. Holly? Actually, that feels kinda nice. What, the purring? Please let this part be a dream. Hey, babe.
Ethan?
Don't forget me.
Why are the two of you shirtless and in bed with me?
The two of us have been doing some talking.
About that painting?
No, Max. About you.
What?
You were the one who suggested a threesome, babe. Oh, no.
A threesome? Well, I suppose it might be fun.
Max? Well, I'll just agree to never speak of this ever again. As far as I'm concerned, this never happened.
Wait, so is this a dream or is this real life?
You tell me.
Oh god. No, not there. Wait, no, never mind. That feels really good, actually. Oh yeah, I could get used to this.
Did that happen? It did happen, didn't it?
Was that real? It felt real.
That typo nice.
But so did all the other dreams. The guys are still asleep over there. I guess I made the whole thing up in my head? And I do have a pretty vivid imagination. It's normally not that vivid, though. I'm just going to pretend this whole thing was a dream and never speak of it again. Watch that bite us in the arse later. Damn it, Max, don't just go out in your lingerie. Alright, well, I'm gonna end this episode here. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.